Hello, Hindsight. How are you doing? Long time no hindsight. I'm filming this on a webcam, on my webcam today, because my phone is dead, but I also had the fleeting urge to make a little video, and I didn't want anything to hinder that. So here I am. Everyone is living through a pandemic, obviously, so who knows what we're all up to, but I just wanted to check in a little bit. I have been busy for a few different reasons. I got a job in telly, which was nice, through no merit of my, well, some merit, but not a whole lot of merit. A friend of mine was working on a TV show that I like, and I worked for free on a little short film for him, and then he was like, hey, do you want to work? And I was like, yes, please, and he got me a job. So I'm a runner. At the moment, I'm a crowd runner, which is a runner, but for the extras of the show. So I look after the extras. I move them around. I move them back. I get them tea. I get them into costume. I get them into makeup. Stuff like that. You know, a runner. And yeah, it's been really fun. It's been really cool. It's long days, obviously, because telly is long days. But I am enjoying it. It's been lovely. And it's really nice to be working on a show that I have seen and I like. That's really cool. The job is, so the main site is near where I live, and it's a place that wasn't always a film set, but it's been turned into a film set. It's a big site, and it's like the building itself looks just like a school, but you walk around and whoop, you're in a bedroom. I've been in places before where it's like those huge like sound stages full of different sets and stuff, and that makes sense because you walk in there and you're like, this is a set. None of this is real. But I walk past, like, you walk past toilets that are like within the corridor that look like normal toilets, and there's a sign on it that says, this is a set, not a real toilet. Do not use it, please. And I want to know how many incidents there were before that sign was put up. Do I? Also, in work news, which is all I have at the moment, I applied for an editing job that I really wanted, and the application took me 3 days because they wanted an editor, but also someone with like social media experience. So what I did was, with Rose's help, with a lot of Rose's help actually, she was very encouraging. She helped me set up my shot. I made a sort of vlog type thing where I took my show reel and I integrated my show reel into just me chatting, because from the job description, it seemed like they were so people orientated that they would probably be more likely to be interested in me if they saw me as a person. And it worked in some ways, and it didn't. I didn't get a rejection for ages. And then when I finally got a rejection, it was a rejection and an interview, which isn't something I've had before. But basically, they emailed me and they were like, hello, you have not gotten through, but we like you and we want to chat with you, which is obviously amazing. And it was just so frustrating. So they said, when I had a really good chat with the guys from the company, they have some content creator stuff coming up that they think I would be good for in the future, which is good because I'm not going to turn down the opportunity to work for a company that I really like, and I'm not going to turn down the opportunity for potential work in the future. And I'm sure I can learn a lot from these people and keep in contact for future opportunities, and that's great. But also, it's just a shame that the style that I went for kind of gave them the impression that I was more vloggy than edity, because that is the reason that in most of my applications I change my name and don't tell them about my YouTube. So, swings and roundabouts. But also, like, if they think that that's a skill set that would be useful, I will make use of it. So I did this interview thing with them, and I was asking them questions about like what my application was lacking that maybe could have helped me get the job and stuff, like getting advice. And so it turns out they had 240 applicants. They took 8 people through to the next stage to interview them. And I wasn't one of those 8, but I was the only one of the remaining 232 that they interviewed anyway, which is amazing. And it's a nice ego boost in a way. It definitely made me feel like I sussed out the application correctly. But it's also like, I don't know, man, maybe I would have been more happy to just get a no than to be like, hey, this is how close you came. Customers also bought you, but not this time. So I'm grateful, and I mean, I'm genuinely grateful to them that they are the type of people who see potential and see effort, and also that they, if nothing else, just wanted to let me know that they like my application. That is great, and I really genuinely am grateful for that. But it was just, oh man, you know, if I put some slightly different things in my application, if I'd included a different style of work alongside other things, maybe I would have got the job. But you live and learn, don't you? You live and learn. Alongside this journey of employment and non-employment, life-wise, I haven't been doing as well. There's a certain point that I can manage ADHD with strategies, and it's just, it's like, you know, Tony Hawk, the Tony Hawk games, right? You know, when you're like spinning on a fire hydrant and you're building up the points, but as soon as you stop, the points go down. They're not there forever. So you need to keep going, and when you slow down, you need to go up again to keep the points high. That's what ADHD is like. As soon as I can be doing okay, but it has to be consistent, and as soon as one thing slips, my life can fall apart. And I've always found that with whenever I'm working full-time that's proper full-time, everything else in my life falls apart. Or like whenever I'm on top of YouTube stuff, where like, oh, here's a hobby that I want to do, that I want to be consistent with. As soon as I'm consistent with that for a certain length of time, every other aspect of my life falls apart. And I mean that in social stuff, professional stuff. I won't have clean clothes. I won't shower. I will forget to eat. There's no food in the house. I'm sort of reaching a point where I think because over the years I have been getting better, I'm in a much better position than I was 3 years ago, just by educating myself on ADHD as much as I could, finding strategies that work for me. Like, I'm a logical human. I can see something and work hard to get to that stage if I think it'll work. But every now and then I get to a point where it's like the world and my brain are proving to me again that there's a limit and I've reached it and I'm never going past that. And when I reach that point, it can be quite upsetting and demoralising. So I think lockdown, when it first started, we were in a particularly lucky position in that at first we felt abandoned by the system, but for all the shit that the UK government is up to right now, what they did do after a lot of pressure from everyone in the country was do a furlough scheme. So we ended up in a pretty decent position, getting a percentage of our wages. And I used that time, really excited to have more time than I'd had since I was a teenager, to myself, and like threw myself into projects and stuff. And it was really beneficial. I've gotten a lot of things done. I've learnt a lot of things. But I think I was just about reaching my limit, just about losing the ability to organise myself in that kind of long-term time frame. And then I got this job, which is great, but it's just another disruption. It's like I'm juggling a bunch of balls, and then someone throws another ball in, and they all fall down. But I catch the ball that was thrown to me. And the ball that was thrown to me is fun. And it's good to have a job in a pandemic. I am very, very grateful. Where's my clean clothes? Why is my room always messy? Where's everything else that I was doing? And how have 5 weeks passed? So, in conclusion, I have decided to try medication for ADHD again. The first time I tried it, this is a story for another video, which I probably will do. But basically, medication doesn't work for ADHD alone. You need other things. And for some people, medication puts them in a position where they're then able to implement other things themselves. For most people, medication is only really effective when combined with other techniques. And if you live in a country that does not have the money or resources to provide those other techniques, you find that they pretty much just give you medication and shove you out the door. And that's what I found. So it helped sometimes. It was good some days, but not others. And when I asked for extra help, they said there wasn't any. And when I tried to discuss things it wasn't addressing or side effects I was having, my psychiatrist acted like she'd never heard of these things. And so eventually I went off it. and was sort of left on my own. But I think now I have made enough progress myself, and in the last 5 years I've learnt so much more about ADHD that I can probably make use of it myself better than I could before, because even if they just give me pills and shove me out the door, I'm equipped with the knowledge and the power to get the most out of it. So we're going to give it another go. Going to see how it goes. And in the mess that is human life, I just wanted to give you guys a little update. How's everyone doing? Jen, how are you all? I hope okay. This was like, do you remember when we started this and we were like, oh, that'd be cute, we'll do a little collab channel. And then the worst year in like many decades on planet Earth just got thrown on our heads. Remember that? I hope you guys are doing well. I think I'm going to try and commit to just doing this when I can, which is what it was meant to be, right? Just like a little diary. But I think I'm just going to try to make something every week, even if I don't have anything to say, if my brain lets me. And if you guys watch this and you're like, oh man, it's been so long, I should come back. Like, yeah, but also don't feel the pressure. Just turn camera on, make soup, you know, have a chat, or not, but I'm here and I think I'm back. So, goodbye.